Morning. Sunflowers are all opening. They're gorgeous. So I'm gonna do a little update on my sunflowers. I chaos seeded these, so I just kind of scattered seeds all over my yard just to see how they do. And they are everywhere. So check these things out. These little ones are beautiful. These are the kind that make seeds that housefinches love. You can actually buy housefinch bird seed, like the little mini sunflowers. You get a big bag of these things for like 20 bucks and just plant them. Birds are gonna go nuts for these. Check out this variety, love this color. Hasn't quite opened all the way, but love those oranges and reds. And then if you look on the stem, look at all these coming out the sides. I'm gonna try to cross-pollinate this with a mammoth so I can have one of those humongous. I'm hoping you'll be able to see this on video, but I have this one right here. It has some blue iridescence in the right lighting. I'm not sure if it's going to come through on video. But the stalk has tons of little flowers coming out. But in the center, I don't know if you can see it, but to my eyes, it has like this bluish iridescence when I look at it. Kind of like these butterflies that have like the iridescent wings. So I'm gonna attempt some Mendel experiments. I love these chocolate covered stems on these. Look at this. So pretty. It's like a reddish maroon stem. Most of them are green. And you get some of these dark ones. Love that. Can't wait to see the color on those flowers. I think those ones are gonna be red. Yeah, it's such a beautiful morning. This one looks like it's right about ready to harvest. This thing is huge. You can kind of see the seeds underneath the spent flowers. And these are humongous. These are about 3 times as big as like when you go to the store and you buy a bag of sunflower seeds at the gas station. These are still white, they're not quite ready to harvest. A trick in case you didn't know, if you look on the back side of the flower head, see how it's still green? As it finishes maturing the seeds, the backside will start turning off the vascular system. It'll stop sending nutrients to the flower head and they'll start turning like a yellowish color. And that's when you know that it's done sending nutrients to the seeds. And you can either let them stay and dry out or harvest at that time and just let them dry. That thing's humongous. And then right next to me I have, this guy hasn't even completely finished heading out and it's ridiculously tall. But this is about as tall as my extended arm. So this one's probably only about 7 feet tall maybe. I'm 6'3". Yeah, this thing dips to about 1 foot over my head. And then, it was probably taller before it started doing this. It's just so heavy. I mean, that head probably weighs 3 or 4 pounds. But look at this guy over here. That one's as tall as my roof. Well, at least as tall as the first story. So it's probably like, I don't know, 12 feet tall right there. No, 14 probably. Because that's about 6 feet tall. And that looks like another 5 or 6 feet. Yeah, that's at least 12 feet, maybe 13 feet, I don't know. This guy's not quite as tall, but that's the top of the extent of my arm. And I have a couple more over here. Beautiful. Just a little one right here. Had to prop it up with this little wire right here because it was falling over. It's gorgeous too. Probably sounds corny, but it's kind of hard to look at these things without smiling. They're so pretty. Beautiful sunflowers. I have about 5 different varieties in here. A few haven't opened yet, so I'll probably add more video in a couple days when some of the more of these open. Some of these are supposed to be red. I'm excited for this one too, because this one has like tons of flowers all along the stem. And so this is kind of a grab bag of different varieties. I had some mammoths, but my mom sent me like 5 different varieties that I kind of mixed in. Like these ones, they have like this reddish brown chocolate stem. I'm really curious. I think those might be the red flowers. I mean, this one too. They haven't quite opened yet, so I'll continue this video in a few days. Just wanted to get some of these other ones just in case I don't have this particular variety anymore. You know, once they get pollinated, they change their appearance very quickly. So that's this section of my yard. I'm gonna show off a few others. Pretty raw, I'm not sure. Here's another one. This is before they get all pollinated. Oh, hey buddy. Little honeybee there. Actually, I think that's a mason bee. Yeah, that's a little solitary bee. See, it looks a little different. I love the solitary bees actually more than honeybees. I mean, I love honeybees, don't get me wrong. They just go back to the hive. Whereas these mason bees live in my yard and they have nothing else better to do with their time apparently than to pollinate nonstop around the clock. Because I'll come out here in like an hour and that guy will still be there perusing the pollen. So I think these are superior pollinators to honeybees. So don't hate on me, don't hate on my comment. Look into it. Promise you it's accurate to the best of my understanding. These things are amazing pollinators. Here's another one. I think this is a mammoth too, but it might have got cross-pollinated with something else because it looks a little bit different. I have a bunch in here that I haven't opened yet. Not really sure what happened to this one. There's some more over here by my grapevines that So I practice a technique that I call chaos gardening. Other people have told me there's other names for it. I don't really care what the official name is. So basically my philosophy is just allow nature to govern your garden. And so some people might think it's a little messy because I'll just take seeds and just scatter them everywhere. And I try not to disturb the soil unless I have a monoculture, which means just like one thing is taking over. So as you can see, there's some areas that's mostly clover, and that's kind of what happened here. I had a bed of almost pure clover, and so I disturbed the clover. You know, I still let some of the rhizomes of the clover, that's the correct word, survive. So the clover will probably come back, but I wanted to break it up a little bit and add other species. And so I added some pumpkins and some sugar beets and carrots and just random stuff just to add that diversity. Because as you can see in other areas, I have a lot of diversity where I'll have, you know, alfalfa right there peeking up, cucumbers, a couple different species of clover. I have some Dutch clover here, but then I have some strawberry clover here. I like to have a diversity of different things just so there's nothing kind of taking precedent. Got a bunch of mint and stuff over here. The mint was actually going a little bit crazy near my Malabar spinach over here, so I had to pull it back. I didn't want it to get too much strength there. So anyway, that's sunflowers. There's another one, you can see that. That one's pretty much done being pollinated. You can see the little sunflower seeds developing. This one's kind of hard to see because it's facing away from my yard, which isn't quite as fun. Predictably, it's facing the sun. Most of them face the sun. There's a few that don't, but I'd say 75% of the time my sunflowers face the sun. Or the sunrise, at least, I should say. So these things are gorgeous, and I can't believe how big they are. Last year when I grew these, they only got to about 6 feet tall, which is about eye level with me. but this year they're well over my head. So selecting for the tallest ones definitely helped. And since I'm in Arizona, it's always important to pick the ones that thrive in my particular climates, microclimates more specifically. All right, this is getting long, so I'm gonna stop there. Thanks for watching.